Westfield-Barnes Regional Airport is getting ready to welcome a restored B-17 airplane next weekend.
With members of the public invited to ride on the plane, we're getting answers on how event organizers are preparing in light of Wednesday's crash at Bradley.
Western Mass News reporter James Villalobos joining us now live from Westfield with those details. James?
Chris and Beth, that event is being put on here by the Experimental Aircraft Association. They're an organization committed to aviation education and preservation. And while many aviation fans may be a little hesitant about going on a B-17 following that deadly crash, the event organizer tells me that it's important for the public to know what goes into before they take off.
Since 1982, the NTSB has investigated 21 accidents involving World War II era bombers. 3 of those involved B-17Gs, and that does not include this one because we don't have the final numbers.
During a press conference Thursday, NTSB board member Jennifer Ormandy says that number of incidents is tragic, but with 23 fatalities as a result of those incidents, she says that's just unacceptable.
Aviators are always very interested into what might have happened, what caused that series of events that led to that. And those are the kind of questions that are going through our mind.
Dick Napinski is one of the organizers with the Experimental Aircraft Association, which will be bringing their B-17 aluminum aircraft to Westfield next week as part of their fall tour. The plane will move forward as planned and take aviation fans for a ride.
It is an aircraft that gets a lot of TLC through the years, and every time before we go flying, dedicated professionals and our mechanics as well are right there on it, along with the piloting crew, to make sure it's up to standards.
But what exactly are those standards? Western Mass News is getting answers.
It's above and beyond what the usual category is for this aircraft because we are taking passengers. And we also have a very strict inspection protocol, which starts, of course, with every flight having the pre-flight inspection, and then every 25 hours an additional inspection, a major inspection where you start going into engines and hydraulics and everything else.
All that on top of a big annual inspection where they take everything apart from the plane and make sure it's up to standards. Napinski wants the public to know that the B-17s are required to meet the same FAA standards as business and commercial jets. But why is it so important for organizations like these to keep the planes in flight?
The B-17 has a great story about maintaining our freedoms, defending our freedoms that we've had, and it was also known as an airplane that was a bring-em-home airplane. There are stories in wartime of engines out and parts of the tail being shot off, and this rugged airframe still brought the crews home.
Westfield Deputy Fire Chief Eric Bishop tells us that should there be an emergency next weekend, they are ready to respond. Live in Westfield, James Villalobos, Western Mass News.